force on it and take the total of the forces either on the left side or on the right side, and for that you should have a particular sign convention. The sign convention adopted by us is yes, we are taking the left up, we are taking the left up as the positive, as the positive. And we have seen the sign convention for the bending moment. Yes, the sign convention adopted for the bending moment is something like this. Are you getting that screen?
Yes, sir.
ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಈಗ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no problem. Then we are taking the bending moment like this as the positive. On the right side, if it moves upward, or the left side, it moves upward. That shear force, that bending moment, we are taking as the negative, positive bending moment. This bending moment is termed as the sagging bending moment, and opposite of it is the hogging bending moment. Right? That sign convention, you are familiar with it. Today we are arriving at important relationship between the applied load, shear force and bending moment. This relationship he is repeatedly asking you to prove in the examination. Already you have seen at different locations in the beam the shear forces and bending moments are different one. Like the shear force, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್, ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹಾಂ ರೀ,
ಈಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 2-3 ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ರಿ, ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು.
ಈಗ
ವಿಂಡೋ ರೀ,
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ
ಹಾಂ ರೀ, ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಐತಲ್ರಿ ಅದು. ಹಾಂ, ಅವ್ರು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವ
The screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ಏನಿದೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ತೆಗೀರಿ ಅದ್ರಿಂದ. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಕಲರ್ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ?
Red color and blue color.
Color, sir.
ಓಕೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ at that time, you inform me. Yes, see here, we have calculated the shear forces at one section. I got it as on left side say minus 400 and right side plus 400. If you are going for some other section, We have calculated the bending moment at different sections. Say at 1 the value of bending moment is 400 kilonewton. When you have calculated it somewhere else, here it is 25. Next, here it is 5 kilonewton. Like that, shear force and bending moment are changing when you are changing the position of the section. It may be shear force or may be a bending moment. Like here it is 50. Here it is 67.14. Here it is 27.14. Right? As the load changes, the value of the shear force also changes. The value of the bending moment also changes. One basic thing you need to understand: whatever the shear force or bending moment are there, these are the unbalanced forces which are not balanced in the member. That unbalanced force will create the problem for the failure of the structure. If the structure is strong, it can offer the resistance. If the structure is weak, it cannot offer the resistance. When you want to design, you should know how much is the action coming on the member, how much is the resistance member can offer. How much it can offer, it is dependent on its properties. That is why, like if you are seeing the column from top to the bottom in multi-story building, is the shape or size of the column is same throughout the height, or it is changing. Just tell me, is the size of the column from top to the bottom, is it same or it is different? Yes, expected answer is at the bottom the sizes of the columns are larger. At the top, as you move towards the top, the size of the column goes on reducing. What is the reason for it? At the top the load is less. As we move down, the load will be accumulated. Therefore, to resist that accumulated load, we need to provide the larger section of the column. You are thinking maybe, sir, we provide throughout the same length, say even the larger section, then the column will become uneconomical one. Unnecessarily, we are providing the larger section. To know what is the action coming on the member and to resist the action, how much is the cross section to be provided? If you study it, you will become a successful structural engineer. We have studied when member is subjected to axial load, like the columns or the bars with different axial loads, what are the stresses and the deformations we have studied. We have studied only that much in the column. What is the reason is, majority of the columns are subjected to axial loads only. Next, we went for the beams. In the beams, we are not applying any load which is coinciding with the axis of the beam. Like the beam is horizontal, axis is horizontal, but the loads are transverse, vertical. They are perpendicular with each other. In such cases, different type of actions are coming in the beam, and that actions we define it as shear force and bending moment. Shear force creates the sliding effect at any cross section, and bending moments results the turning effect, bending effect at any section in the beam. If we study these actions as in column, they are not same for particular length of the member. They are changing from section to section. Therefore, as a structural engineer, I should know where the shear force is maximum, where the bending moment is maximum. Is there any relationship between the load that I am applying, between the shear force that is developed and the bending moment that is developed at any cross section? Therefore, in this part, first we are trying to establish any relationship between the shear force and the bending moment. So relationship, it repeatedly he is asking this theory part in your annual exam. It is very simple. Just see here. Shear force and bending moment at any location in the beam are variable with respect to the load. To establish the relationship between the load that we have applied, the shear force and bending moment, we are considering very small part of the beam of length is equal to dx and is subjected to approximately uniform load of intensity W per meter length. Already we have seen what are the natures of the shear forces are developed at a section. On one part, if the shear force is upward, on the other part, the shear force is downward. Whether we have proved it or not, so many times we have observed it. If you go to the problem, say here we have calculated the shear force. On the left side, bending moment it is. Shear force, if I want, I need to go back. Yes, you see the shear force here. On the left side, it is minus phi. What is the meaning of minus pi? Minus pi says that the left is going down means where is the right part? Right part will move up. For the right part to move up, the arrow should go up, and left part to move down, arrow should come down on the left. Therefore, on one side, if it is downward, on the other side, it will be upward. That is the shear force. That we are calling it as the shearing action. One is up and other is down. Like that in our problem. If on one side, if the shear force is acting in upward direction, that is F with arrow in the upward direction. On the other side, it will act in the downward direction. Like that, the bending moment on one side, it is acting in the clockwise direction, and other side it will be in the anti-clockwise direction. We are assuming that because of that loading, there is a slight change in the shear force and bending moment. That is why if on one side, if the shear force is plus F, on the other side it is F plus dF in the opposite direction. Like that, on one side, if the bending moment is M, on the other side it is M plus dM. Therefore, total forces acting on the small part of the beam are given by, one is shear force of magnitude F and F plus dF. Those are marked there. Next is moments of magnitude M and M plus dM as shown in the figure. And downward load of intensity W per meter run, whatever may be the history that I told. In the examination, you are drawing this diagram, a small part of length dx subjected to a load of W per meter run. On one side, the shear force is F, bending moment is M. On the other side, shear force is F plus dF and M plus dM. Only you need to take care of that shear force are opposite to each other, bending moment are opposite with each other. Like one is active force, other is the reactive force. They are equal and opposite in nature, but because of additional force there, small change is there in those values. Now, whatever the small part I have considered, that part is in equilibrium. Why it is in equilibrium? I am removing it from the beam, but those actions I am putting on the beam, I am separating on the right side and I am putting the forces there as F and M. On left side I am separating I am putting the forces there as F plus dF, M plus dM, and external load is W per meter run. Now this beam is in equilibrium. When it is in equilibrium, we can apply the equations of equilibrium to it. What are the equations of equilibrium? Total of horizontal forces should be equal to 0. Total of vertical force equal to 0. And total of moment is equal to 0. That is the condition of equilibrium. Yes, as the part is in equilibrium, apply the equations of equilibrium. Total of the forces is equal to 0. What you are going to get? Just see vertical force. One is F, that is plus F. Second one is F plus dF. It is downward, that is why minus F plus dF. And third one is W. It is downward, that is why it is minus W into dx. So if you simplify it, F and F will cancel. You just calculate the value of W. You will get W equal to minus df by dx minus df by dx. Yes, what is it? W is the loading. But what is f and dx? Dx or x is the location of the section, and df is change in shear force with the change in location of the section is the meaning of df by dx. Indirectly, I can call it as rate of change of shear force. Rate of change of shear force is equal to W. W is nothing but the loading. Therefore, equation 1 gives me an important relation, that is rate of change of shear force is equal to the loading on the beam. Rate of change of shear force is equal to loading on the beam. That is the relationship between the load and the shear force. Now one more equation is left out with me, that is total of horizontal force equal to 0. No forces in horizontal direction, no use of it. One more is total of moment about any point is equal to 0. I will take the moment, say about the point A. Yes, can you tell me the moment created by different forces here? First, you keep the finger at A. Now F is touching A. Therefore, F into 0. Next is go for DF. It is acting at D. F plus DF into distance is dx. Moment created by F plus DF is F plus DF into dx, and if you keep the finger at A, it will rotate in clockwise direction. Therefore, I can take it as positive. Next, go for that small W. W is per meter run. For a length is equal to dx. What is the load? W into dx is the load. Where it will act? It will act at a distance of dx by 2. Therefore, a clockwise moment of W into dx by 2 is in clockwise direction. Now left out are m, it is couple. Couple should not be multiplied with the distance. This is equal to plus m only. One more couple is m plus dm. It is in anti-clockwise direction. That is why it is negative. Therefore, final equation will appear like this. Yes, first is m couple. Next is f. You are taking moment about a. It is in touch with a. Distance is 0. Therefore, f into 0. Next is w into dx is the load into dx by 2. Next is f plus df. It is acting at d. You are taking moment at a. F plus df into dx. It is acting in clockwise direction. That is why positive. Left out is last m plus dm. It is anti-clockwise. That is why negative. Now here some of the terms are very small. Like dx is very small. You are multiplying it with dx by 2. Therefore that product becomes very, very small. And when you are adding it to something else, it can be ignored. Therefore here product of dx into dx or df into dx we are ignoring, throwing them out. Whatever left out, you can see it. One is m here, next is f into dx, and here minus m minus dm. Therefore that m and m will cancel out. Left out here is the dm minus plus df into dx. Rest all terms will cancel. And if you simplify it, you are going to get f is equal to dm by dx. Yes, friends, derivation being very simple, only you may face the problem with how to take the moment about any point. Yes, he is repeatedly asking it. If you are having the doubt, you can ask it for any number of times. You just go through the question paper, you will come to know how important it is. Yes, you can unmute and ask the doubts. Yes.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಆಸ್ ದ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೀಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ.
Yes. As the elemental part of the beam is in equilibrium, this part is clear. What are the forces acting in the pre-word diagram? Even if you are not writing the rest of the part is okay. At least you need to draw this diagram and what are all the forces acting on it, that you need to write. Shear forces of magnitude F and F plus dF. The meaning of this one is, on one side if it is F, On the other side, it is some change in F. F plus some change in F. It may be positive or negative. The same is the meaning with M plus dm and the loading. As it is in equilibrium, these are all the forces acting on that part, and the part is in equilibrium. When any part is in equilibrium, it has to satisfy the conditions of equilibrium. What are the conditions of equilibrium? Total of vertical forces must be equal to 0. Total of horizontal forces must be equal to 0. Total of moment must be equal to 0. Now when we are coming for total of vertical forces is equal to 0. Here vertical forces are only 3. One is F, one more is F plus dF, one more is the external load W per meter run. Most probably you know why the M is not coming into picture. Basic definition of couple is equal and unlike forces. One force acts in vertically up, the same amount of force acts in vertically down. That is why when you are taking the vertical forces, couple will not come into picture. Couple ilve illa anta calculation ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಲಿ shear force calculation ದಾಗಲಿ, whenever you are going for vertical up forces or horizontal up forces, couple will not contribute anything. Reason is couple is formed by two equal and unlike parallel forces with a distance d between them. Equal and unlike. Unlike meaning is if one is vertically up, other will be vertically down. Therefore, what is the total? Plus minus 0. If one is horizontally towards the right, other will be horizontally towards the left. That is why it won't come into calculation. Couple ಅಥವಾ momentu, when you are going for the vertical or horizontal forces, it should not be seen. It should not be included in the calculation that you have studied in applied mechanics. Is that clear? Couple, I have not taken the couple in vertical forces because the couple M indicates one vertical force upward M and other vertical force downward M, and distance between is 1 unit, so that the moment is equal to M into 1 and we are getting it as M. That is why couple will not come into the calculation. Couple will come only when you are going for total of moment equal to 0. And again, the moment should not be multiplied with the distance. You have seen amount of the couple is not dependent on position of the couple because distance is not coming there into picture. That is the speciality of the couple. Therefore, when you are taking total of vertical forces, that couple will not come into picture. Only I need to see for F, F plus dF and W. Therefore, one is F upward, I have taken positive. That is why F plus dF I have taken negative because downward. Minus W into X dx. W is the load. W is the load per meter run. For a distance of dx, it is W into dx. Therefore, you simplify it. F will cancel out. You will get W is equal to dF by dx. dF by dx. Right? Like that, you are taking total of moment equal to 0. total of moment is equal to 0. You can take any point. For convenience, I am taking the point A. For convenience, I am taking the point A. If you want, you can change the point, but I cannot change the slide. If you want to note down, you can tell me any point, I will give you the answer. Otherwise, with A only means you need to keep the finger at A. What is the moment created by F? F is very close to A. That is why its distance is 0. F plus df is at a distance of dx from A. Therefore, moment created by it is equal to force is F plus df into dx. And if you see the direction, it is clockwise. If you go for the load W per meter, total load is W into dx. It will act at a distance of dx by 2. Therefore, load is W into dx multiplied with dx by 2 and is going in clockwise direction. That is why it is positive. Yes, now M is clockwise, positive. M plus dm is anti-clockwise, negative. So if you simplify it, product of small terms, when you are adding to anything, you can neglect it. Like I can say 2 plus 0.1 into 0.1. When you are adding 2 to 0.1, you will get 2.1. But when you are adding 2 plus 0.1 into 0.1, can you imagine what will be the quantity it is? 0.1 into 0.1, 0.01. Therefore, it will become 2.01. Comparison I told you. Dx means it is very small. Therefore, products of dx into dx, df into dx can be thrown out. Thrown out in the sense can be neglected. So if you neglect all those terms, you will get like this: m plus f into dx minus m minus dm. So m will cancel out. One is plus, other is minus. You will get f is equal to dm by dx. Yes. Any more explanation you want, or you ask me any particular step?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, so okay. These two are very important relations throughout your career. You need to remember them. It is very simple. Rate of change of the shear force is the load. Rate of change of bending moment is the shear force. From equation 1, W is equal to minus df by dx, or if I integrate it, yes, with respect to x, integral of W is W into dx, W into x plus c equal to f. Here we are getting an important relationship. If I know the load, I can say how the shear force is changing. Say the load is 0, Tell me the shear force. Load is 0. What is the shear force?
Zero, sir.
No, it is C. Load is 0. W equal to 0.
Yes, sir. Yes,
F
sir,
equal
yes.
to C. F equal to C, it indicates a constant. Y is equal to constant is a line parallel to the x-axis. You know how to draw the parallel line, how to know the y is equal to constant. Means if the no load is there, shear force will always be constant, will not change. That is the meaning of it. If the load is constant, what you are going to get? How the F will be? If load is constant, somewhere we can see on the beam load is constant. Under it, how the F will be? That I want to study. Load is constant, means W is constant, say is equal to A or B or something like that. Then what is F? Then you will get something like this. F is equal to AX plus C. Can you imagine what may be the variation of the F with X? A is constant, X is changing, C is constant. F is equal to, it is linearly changing. If load is constant, shear force is linearly changing. Y is equal to Ax plus B. Like that, if load is function of linear function of X, like W is equal to Ax, just imagine what may be the value of F. That time F will become Ax square plus C. That time, if you draw F versus the X, how it will appear? Like Y is equal to Ax square plus C. It is second order in X. It will appear as parabola. Okay. Go for equation 2. F is equal to dm by dx. That is rate of change of bending moment is equal to shear force on the beam, or M is equal to Fx plus C. Now we need to imagine the different situations. Like on some particular part of the beam, load is not there, W equal to 0, F will become equal to C. F is constant. If F is constant, what is M? M will become constant into X plus C. It is linear. If F is constant, what is F? Ax plus C. Now what is M? Ax square plus Bx plus C or Cx plus C. Whenever you are drawing any variation, you are observing the highest power of variable. That is M is equal to Ax square. It is parabola. Like that, After practicing the problems, you will come to know what exactly I am telling. But anyhow, these are the variations. The load, the variation of SF, variation of BM. Load, no load. Load is 0. SF is constant and BM is changing linearly. Now, load is constant. Load is constant. Constant load, we are calling it as the UDL. The variation of SF. Load is constant means SF is linear. And BM is, again, F is equal to linear means M will become parabolic. Yes. Third load is linear, changing with respect to x. It is triangular load. That time variation is parabolic SF and BM is cubic curve. You definitely will understand this one, right? Till right now you may be getting confused with you. Definitely when I will solve the problem, you will get clarification for that one. Okay friends. Yes. Yes, tell me. Yes. ಹೇಳಿ ಏನಿದ್ರೆ. Okay friends, now we are going for last part of this module. As I already told you, first module name is simple stresses and strains, but it is bit difficult for you compared with all other models. And of the all models, the best and the important chapter for you is this model, shear force and bending moment. Best in the sense, whatever may be the number of questions, 1 or 2 theory questions are there, like derive the relationship between shear force, bending moment and loading, what is the beam, what are the supports, this and that, first year whatever you have studied. Otherwise 100% of the questions should be on draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. Just today I will read it. Tomorrow I will explain it once again. Yes, bending moment diagram. What is the meaning of bending moment diagram? We know bending moment is changing from point to point in the beam. The pictorial representation of the variation of the bending moment along the length of the beam is known as the bending moment diagram. Means if you see that bending moment diagram, directly you will decide where the beam may fail because of the bending moment diagram, bending moment, or where I need not to take care of the beam for the effect of bending moment. Here the bending moment will be minimum. I need not to design it for the bending moment. I need to take care of some other force or something like that. How the bending moment will change along the length of the beam. Presentation in the form of the graph. In the form of the graph is known as the bending moment diagram. In short, it is written as BMD. In the same way, how the SF changes along the length of the beam, pictorial representation of it is known as shear force diagram. So what are all, how we are constructing the shear force and bending moment diagram? If possible, anyhow it is, today I am uploading it, tomorrow you just read it once or twice, the rest of the part is left to me. Construction of shear force diagram. Calculate the shear force values at important points. Which are those important points? It should be known to you. Which are those points? One is point load, left and right of point load. Left and right of point load at start and end of distributed load. Only these are the important points. I need not to say that I didn't told anything in connection with the moment or the couple here. Then rest is understandable. Draw the values of SF as ordinate, approximate to some scale at respective values. This you will understand when we will solve the problems. Join these ordinates, knowing the variation of the shear force, and hence complete the diagram. Out of these 3 points, first point is important for you, where all you need to calculate the SF at left and right of point load at beginning and end of distributed load. In the same way, when you are going for bending moment, where all you need to calculate the bending moment, calculate the bending moment at left and right of the couple. There left and right of point load, here left and right of the couple. Otherwise, at point load, at start and end of the distributed load. The rest again same as the shear force. This construction of SFD and BMD, definitely I will make it clear. Only where the BM is to be calculated and where SF is calculated, you need to read it twice or thrice, which is a homework for you. For BM, at left and right of couple, at the point load, beginning and end of UDL. For SF, left and right of point load, beginning and end of distributed load. Yes, friends, with that I conclude the today's session. From tomorrow onwards,